right, this week I'm going to be interviewing one of my friends, very good friends and mom mates, Natalia. Natalia has a little daughter who is a very good friend of mine. She says I'm her best friend. Her name is Nalia. Natalia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. So, first off, I want to jump into my questions, but I just wanted to get you to share with me what's the best part about motherhood for you.
The best part, uh, I would say learning as you go.
Learning.
Yes, learning as you go because there is no matter how much books you read, there really is no one set manual because every child is different, every situation is different. So, for me, I naturally like to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, learning about and experiencing it is what's the best part of motherhood.
So share with me your birthing story. From the moment you found out you were pregnant, what did you do and what was that experience like?
I think I hyperventilated when I found I was pregnant. Because I wasn't expecting it
Mm-hmm.
actually, and I actually didn't know. I was in having a conversation with my friend. She actually had just started med,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I kept feeling like if my period was about to come, but it just wasn't coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, it's been a while. You keep saying your period going to come. You sure you're not pregnant? I said, well, no, I don't think so. And she's like, take a test now
Mm-hmm.
and see, just to rule it out. I said, okay, all right. So I went to I bought the cheapest pregnancy test that existed
No
because
error proof, no expensive brand name, nothing.
no. The cheapest one I could have find. Because I really wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it wasn't even first pee in the morning or anything like that. I just went to the bathroom the next time I needed to go.
Mm-hmm. Just a
And
random pee.
yeah. And I did the test in the toilet. I was actually in work. I was in the middle of work actually. You know how while you're in work, you just run to the bathroom. So I was like, hey, I have it, let me carry it with me.
Right.
So I did it, and I alone was in the toilet there, and I started hyperventilate when I see two.
In the bathroom?
So, yeah, I tried calling a kid, but he was busy, so I didn't get. I
That's your
tried calling
husband.
multiple people.
That's your
Yeah,
husband, right? Yeah.
yeah. I tried calling my husband. He was busy, so I missed my call.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I tried two of my other friends. No, it was as though nobody was available. Right. So I just clean up, and I kept it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first person I ended up telling was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I actually went and visited her on work about an hour or two after during my lunch period, and I told her.
So
She was shocked.
how was that time for you? So you went through your 9 months. Was it an easy pregnancy? Was it a difficult? Was it particularly stressful? And tell me about when you actually went into labor.
All right. So I would say for the most part it was a good pregnancy. For the
Mm-hmm.
most part, I did start to dilate a little early. So I was closely monitored by the doctors after that, but it wasn't I didn't continue to dilate,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was just dilated like 1 centimeter, probably just close back. I don't know, maybe nobody was practicing, right? I had spent 2 nights in the hospital, because they were monitoring me.
Mm-hmm.
That because I had crossed 26 weeks already. But I think I was like 28, somewhere there,
Mm-hmm.
when I had the little dilation. So, and I didn't even know I was dilated. I just felt like, well, it was hurting me a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was my husband. He said, well, let me go to the doctor, just to make sure everything okay. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'll take a Panadol. I good. And he was like, no, 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 let me go.
Mm-hmm.
So he insisted that we go. So that's how I eventually went.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there and the nurses and the midwives, they checked me, they was like, oh, you dilated 1 centimeter. I think we're going to need to admit you. I was like, oh,
What? And you were at 20 something weeks at this stage.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So they kept me for the weekend. That was unexpected. They asked me for my bag, my baby bag, that's supposed to be packed. I had nothing packed. I didn't even have the bag or anything. So, and the nurse, while I got off, she was like, ma'am, you are supposed to have your bag packed at 21 weeks. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But you're not expecting any baby anytime soon, so you figure you have time, right?
So, after that, I had to they monitored me every week after that. So after that, I had to be in clinic every week. We went, me and my husband, we went to the Lamaze class. So in Trinidad, in the public hospital, once whoever attends the Lamaze class with you, they get to be in a room with you
For delivery.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So my husband, he went to the Lamaze class with me so that he could get to be there in the room. So it was actually kind of funny when I went into labor. My clinic date was Tuesdays. So when I was 39 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
I went in for my checkup, and the doctor, she did things.
She did a sweep.
Yes, she did the sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uncomfortable, but yeah.
she did the sweep. And after that, I went home. She was like, okay, so you have a week again. This is your first baby. So, you might start getting, 1 or 2 little contractions. She said, but they'll be far apart. I said, okay. She said, so, not to worry about. Just have a week again. So that was actually the second day of my maternity leave, because I stopped working the Friday before, but
Mm-hmm.
Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was the Saturday. I stopped. That was my last day for work. Sunday, but I took my shower.
Yeah.
Monday was my first day of official maternity leave, and then Tuesday was my clinic. That's when it is. So when I got home, that's when I got my first contraction after clinic. Right? My first real contraction. I was like, whoo, okay, all right. Then I would say about an hour and a half, I got another one.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got the third one, I called and say, I think I got contractions. And he was like, for real? Okay, yeah, okay, well, monitor it. I was like, all right, cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
I was home, so I just kind of relaxed. Was on the phone, talked to a few of my girlfriends, and then when I fell asleep, but I would wake up for each contraction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So by the time he got home, it was like after 7 in the evening. So he asked me, he said, well, you feeling better? I said, well, he said, well, with the contractions thing now. I said, well, no, I think it's coming closer. He's like, so how far apart is it? I said, well, I don't know. I didn't time it. I was sleeping.
So all this time you were sleeping and having contractions.
Yes.
Okay. At what time of day? No, because it started in the morning.
Yes, it was started like around, because I got back home like around 11, 12 or something, around midday.
And this is probably now about 6 o'clock when he's just
Yeah,
getting.
this is around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening now.
Wow. So you've been having
Right?
contractions all this time and you've just been sleeping through it.
Basically, yeah. I would get up to the actual contract, and then once it passed, I would breathe, and then once it passed, I went
Gone back to
right
sleep.
back to sleep.
All right, so you
Yeah.
show up at the hospital now. You've been in labor now for a number of hours. Um,
Mhm.
what happens next?
Well, because my husband, he was allowed to come in the room. He was my coach, right? So he was there with me. The midwives was very impressed because they didn't have to come and be checking me constantly. They only came once to
Mm-hmm.
check, and they just left us there to, well, for me to continue to dilate.
Mm-hmm.
And he was good. And again, between contractions, I was sleeping. I would sleep after the contraction passed. When the contraction come, I wake up. He coach me, I'd breathe. He gave
Mm-hmm.
me some ice, right? Because they don't allow you to eat anything
Mm-hmm.
in your
Just
hospital.
ice.
Yeah, just ice. So he said it was kind of funny because I was literally having these minute naps because my contractions were a minute apart.
So once you're in the delivery room, uh,
Mhm.
and you're pushing, what's that feel like?
Like when you're constipated. And you really have to force.
Oh, like if you're constipated.
Yes, and you're forcing for it to come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sensation or that's the feeling that you get,
Mm-hmm.
right? I actually had a few friends who had babies before, and they told me when it is you feel that feeling, just do like if you're really constipated and you're trying to go. They say that actually gives you a better pushing force, and even the midwife said that.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "What you pushing like a pro? You sure you did the first baby?" I say, "Well, yeah." So, yeah. But normally, I think it takes long for the whole pushing process for some people. For us, it was between 20, I said 25 to.
Wow. And then 25, 30 minutes, you have your coach, the midwives are there, you're doing a wonderful job pushing, and out comes Nalia. What
Yes.
does that
Also,
feel like?
uh, I was kind of worried because when she came out, she didn't really cry that much,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was concerned that I didn't hear her cry. But
Mm-hmm.
what had happened is during the pushing, apparently the cord was wrapped around her neck. So one of the
Oh.
senior midwives had to come in because one of the junior midwives wanted to push her back in, pull out the cord when she was almost out. So she didn't do that. What she did is she kind of pulled the cord free a little bit and let me continue pushing because she was already in my passage, almost out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's on the account that the cord was around her neck, right? And they just get to slacken it barely. That why she did cry. But she was fine. Yes.
Would you
I
say
get to
so?
the neighborhood.
You knew that during the process, or you knew that after when you didn't hear her cry?
After.
You knew after. So that was
Mhm.
a little scary for you.
It was. Yeah, I remember the midwife specifically saying, "Okay, don't push, stop." And she did something down there, and then she said, "Okay, next contraction, push now." So
Mm-hmm.
I was just following instructions,
Yeah, you were
but
just focused on that.
yes. So I think the tone in which she said it, I got a little concerned,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even though I didn't say anything, but I think at that time was when the adjustment with the cord was happening, right? So I found out after.
And then they
But
place her in your hands.
yes. And then they asked me, they're like, Mommy, what you have? I was like, a baby? I think they were asking me whether it was a boy or a girl.
Yeah, trying to find out if you're still alert. And yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, Mommy, what you have? I was like, a baby? Baby, mom. It's like, Mommy, what you have? I was like, a baby. Baby. So after there was like, it's a boy or a girl. I was like, well, it's a girl. Right?
You knew from before that you were having a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a 60% chance.
Were you
because she was
hoping
never
for a girl?
pretty. Huh?
Were you hoping for a girl or?
Actually, we were both hoping for a boy. Right? But God knows what he's doing. So I don't think I would trade her. No.
And she is a big ball of energy.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Nalia.
Nalia is a really, really pleasant child. She is very gentle. She is a very gentle child, and that is in everything that she does. Even when I was still carrying her during the 9 months, I heard a lot of people say, sometimes when the child kicking, it'd be so painful, and the belly will stretch from here to Toko, like when they stretch out, and actually for me, she didn't kick that hard. She was always active. I didn't used to know when the child was sleeping. She was always active. She used to move constantly. I mean, sleeping, she moving, she up, she moving. She used to move constantly, but it was never painful. It was never painful. It was always, nice, gentle movements, kind of like reassuring me, Mommy, I'm here.
Yes,
Mommy, I'm here. But it was never rough or gentle. I mean, rough or painful. It was always gentle. And she's very loving. She's very kind. She thinks about other people, right? And she really is, I would say, empathy. She really, really, really is that type of child. If it's she sees something wrong with one of us, or she thinks that, we're feeling hurt or anything like that, she'll come, she'll give you a hug, she'll ask you what's wrong, She really tried to be attentive to the emotional needs of others.
I know that she played nurse sometime this year. So tell me about what happened and how did she get to be the doctor in the family?
I'm not quite sure how, but I think it's just the fact that she likes to help, right? She also liked the show Doc McStuffin. That was her favorite show. So I think it probably came from Doc McStuffin caring after toys. She just decided she wants to care after people. So 1 minute she's a doctor, 1 minute she's a nurse. So she kind of moved in between the both of them. But yeah, lately it's been stuck on nurse. So
that's what she's gonna be, right?
Maybe.
Hi, so this week's episode comes in two parts. Part one is going to air today, and I'm inviting you to tune in with me next week while I share part two. Let's hear stories from my mommy, Natalia.